Guys, what is up? Today we are of course talking about this guy right behind me here, the all-new Apple Studio Display. I was super waitlisted to get mine, but it's finally here and I've been testing it for a couple of weeks after about 3 weeks of use, testing, and everyday interaction with this display, using it for video editing, some web design work, and some graphic artwork. I can sort of give you my thoughts and feedback on this monitor. Let's jump into it. So, as I said before, I used to have this setup seen here. I have, of course, the Ergonoffice standing desk, and I was also using Ergonoffice's monitor plus stand arm. This setup worked really well, and I was really happy with it when I had my older MacBook Pro before I got my M1 MacBook Pro, because it had a touch bar. And despite many people's differing opinions on the touch bar, I actually did quite enjoy it, and I loved having the ability to preset some different configurable options into that bar depending on the app I was using. No touch bar shortcuts being there, it means that this stand is taking up quite a bit of space. I could simply be docking the machine and connecting it to a monitor, and that's what this setup is going to be once it's all said and done. So, this old setup is down. Let's go ahead and open up the Studio Display. Of course, the moment that you've all been waiting for. This box is a chonker and it is quite heavy. This monitor is extremely well built, as I'm sure you can understand. It is an Apple product and it does cost $1,500+ here in Canada. The monitor itself is housed in a very unique cardboard packaging setup. You sort of pull out the ends and it just pops up and presents itself to you. It's really cool packaging design. Apple is absolutely killer with their packaging. Out of the box, things are pretty easy to get going. Everything is attached right to the back of the monitor. You simply open up everything there. You'll be presented with the power cable, which is quote unquote permanently affixed to the Studio Display unless you get a specialized tool to remove it or yank it really hard. And the display is simply gorgeous. It is a great looking piece of hardware. There's no denying it. Apple, of course, does include one cable for this display in the box, but I gotta say, it's probably the shortest lightning cable I've ever seen. Now, this version of the Studio Display that I purchased is the one that is height adjustable because it has the pivoting arm on the back. This is quite an expensive upgrade. It's not gonna be for everybody, but if you want to be able to have the option to adjust to suit your precise needs, I do find it helpful to be able to pivot with the arm on the back. And it is incredibly well built. So the setup is more or less complete. Again, let's just feast our eyes on this monitor one more time. It is gorgeous. It's a little bit thick, but everything in there is purpose built. It has built-in speaker, built-in webcam. Of course, it is the 5K display, and it has a few input outputs on the back, 3 USB-C, 1 Lightning, and of course that power cable again. And all in all, build quality, 10 out of 10. Now, while this might be a 5K display, it doesn't quite stand up to the likes of the displays on the new MacBook Pros. The screen, it really is no comparison. It gets very bright, and it is a good looking picture, but the displays on these laptops are just superior to pretty much anything else out there right now. They're just gorgeous. Again, as I said, I've been using this monitor now for a couple of weeks. I've done web work, graphic design work with it, and of course, video editing, the last couple of videos that I've put out on the channel here. And for all of these different use cases, aside from maybe the graphics end, and if you are pro the video end, this Studio Display is killer. Bright enough, you can dim it very well if you need to get the brightness down. Very well integrated in a home office environment. Again, it has built-in speakers, built-in microphone, and a pretty decent, after the recent update, built-in webcam. And of course, It's an Apple product, so if you're in an Apple production environment already, it's just plug and play. I love, and I said this with my old LG Ultrafines, I love that you can power everything basically with one cable, and it works very well. And the monitor will provide power to the laptop or the other device you've plugged in. Now, again, I did say maybe if you're not a professional or if you're not doing graphics, and the reason for that is it doesn't go inky, dark, perfect black. So for me, I'm not a pro YouTuber, I'm not a pro videographer, and I don't consider myself to be one. I am a professional graphics designer by trade, so I did find myself having to switch back to the laptop a couple times while working on graphics. But the majority of my work these days is actually centered around the web and doing web development. So in those instances, this display is perfectly fine. But if you're a professional videographer, you are a professional graphic artist, or even a photographer for that matter, and you need to be able to have perfect one-to-one color accuracy on a display, you will need to step up. So then, what are my thoughts on Apple's new Studio display? It's pretty easy to say off the hop that if you're in the market for an Apple display and you don't want to spend $5,000+, it's your only option. So there is that. But as I just said in the last clip, if you are a pro grade photographer, videographer, or designer, this might not be the monitor for you. Yes, it does look very good. Yes, it's very bright. Yes, it's a 5K display. It ticks a lot of boxes for 99% of people. But again, if you need a perfect one-to-one color accuracy in production, this display doesn't quite get there. I think it's gonna get hobbyists, all those people that just swear on having Apple everything, to the point that they need to get to, and they're gonna be very happy with it. Now, the one thing that I can't justify, of course, is the price. Pricing in the Apple ecosystem is pretty abstract of a concept, almost as just to create like a barrier to entry that keeps Apple's name cachet. I think it's a pretty good offer at the base model. Once you start adding on the pivoting arm, which is another $500, $600, things start to look a little bit less enticing for the majority of people. At $2,000, which is pretty much what I paid for this one here in Canada, you can do a lot. If you're on a budget, there are other options out there for you. LG produces a 4K and 5K display, and I have used the 4Ks before and they are great. And it's about half the price of just this monitor, but they will get you about 80 to 90% of what this offers you. It's not gonna have the same build quality, it's a plastic shell, and it's not gonna have as good of a speaker setup, and it's not gonna have that webcam, albeit not being the best webcam in the world, it's still something. This is a pretty all-in-one complete setup, dare I say, almost like an iMac. So really, I don't think I can sit here and tell you to just go ahead and buy it. But if you are a must-have it because it's an Apple product and I don't have a $5,000 budget kind of person, this is your guy. If you are a creative using Apple products and you want that display option and the price doesn't put you off, this is a pretty solid choice. For the pro grade people, then I would say you need to start looking at some of those more expensive options to get you what you really want. I'm happy with it, even though it's not perfect and I can't do all of my work all the time on it. But for the 99% of the time that I can, I really enjoy using the new Apple Studio display. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Let me know your thoughts on the Apple Studio display down in the comments. Did you get one? Do you think it's overpriced? Let me know what you're thinking. Let's have a discussion about it. And I'll see you back good and soon with another video.